So good morning, everyone. Welcome. And so today, the meditation is about knowing and not knowing. Part of the challenge of meditation is all the meaning we assign, the significance, the fantasies, the delusions, the ideas that we add on top of our direct experience. One of the ways is assigning personal meaning or personal ideas about what it means for me. And some of that's okay, but some of it is extra. It's a lot of, it can be delusion and fantasy. And one of the ways to meditate is to meditate with part of what we do is to not know, not try to figure things out, not try to explain them, not try to assign meaning to them or ask why they're there or how to fix them. And so this can be practiced with a question, just a simple statement, what? What is this? But not trying to answer it. Almost like what is what allows us to witness something and see it fresh and see it anew and really know, kind of see, let it appear, come to us. So to sit with a what and then see what, without needing to know the answer, to just sit with what's there, not knowing what's there in a sense, but letting it show itself to us, but not asserting or projecting our ideas on top of it. And this is so helpful for the living in our life, to always to begin with a question, what? And let the experience speak to you rather than you claiming the experience for yourself. So, what? So to begin by assuming a upright, balanced posture. And entering into this posture as if you're not coming with a long history of knowing exactly how you should sit, exactly what's your way, but to kind of discover what the posture can be, as if it's the first time. And then to lower your gaze and perhaps close your eyes. And this what can begin right away. What is this experience of sitting here, being present, when there's no overlay of shoulds or expectations or ideas of where you're going in practice? Just what to this experience? A willingness to not explain, not even to know what it is, but just to feel and sense and allow it to be what it is. And to have this what for what's happening in your mind. Thoughts, the attitudes, the reactions. And this what is some deeper question. Almost like, what is here? What is this mind about? What's happening here? But perhaps not looking for answers. Just being open to feel and see and sense. And then perhaps taking a few long, slow, deep breaths to settle into your body, to settle into your place. Letting your breath return to normal. And then relaxing your body a bit. The face, the shoulders, the belly. And each time you relax, imagine that you ask the question, what is this? As if you're discovering this part of your body for the first time. What's happening as I relax? What is revealed? And then to let yourself settle into your breathing, the rhythm of breathing, with a beginner's mind, with the best you can, without expectations or ideas of what should happen, what it's supposed to be like. Just what? What is this experience of sitting here, breathing? Where the question what implies a relaxation of searching and looking. It's just what and being open to whatever's here. Open to breathing, to body, to mind. Oh, what a beginner's mind. That brings a receptivity and a willingness to just be here with this, not needing to make it into anything, judge it, but just the what. The question what that takes you away from your discursive thinking, your fantasies. The what to what's happening now, here, just now. sitting with an attitude of what? That it opens you, makes you curious to this experience now, while at the same time not needing to know, not needing to have it understood in words, or just an open curiosity to this. When the mind wanders off in thought, what is this? What is the question, curiosity that quiets the mind in a process of this silent discovery? One of the benefits of developing a mindfulness practice can be a comfort level with not knowing, a comfort level of being present for our direct, immediate experience, and not needing to have something to say, something to explain, not needing to know what one's supposed to do. Just present, accompanying the experience, allowing the experience to show itself more fully without the filter of our ideas and explanations and certainties. To ask the question, what, without looking for an answer, just looking, seeing more fully. And in this way, perhaps we can know people in a new way, fresh way, not see them through the old filters and ideas and histories and memories, not see them through the roles and ideas. By not knowing who they are, we actually can get to know them more fully in some way. What is known when we don't try to know? And perhaps the quiet stillness of the mind, of mindfulness, can help us to have greater goodwill and respect for others. May it be that as we come out of meditation, whatever ability we have to be present without needing to know, needing to explain, generates greater care for the welfare and happiness of others. May all beings be happy. May all beings be safe. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be free. So, good morning. And today the sunlight is quite bright for me, so the one of the things that bind us, that keeps people in bondage, can have a huge impact on others. is delusion and confusion. And it's a very powerful word, the word delusion. And in Buddhism, it's considered to be one of the important forms of bondage and poisons. And one of the ways to be caught is to be caught in delusion. And it can be particularly harmful because when we're deluded, we don't really see the situation clearly. And so even if our intentions are good, we might be causing harm in the world around us. But also with delusion, we can be misinformed or misguided in what we think is important. If we think, there's a classic teaching in Buddhism that someone who wants a fire goes and chops up wood looking for the fire in the wood, because isn't that where fire comes from? But it's not just enough to chop it up. You have to, create the fire. In the old days, by rubbing something together. Or the idea that you can get grape juice by squeezing gravel. If you're trying to accomplish something and you're deluded about the means and what ways to do it, then you're not going to get much result. So one of the delusions that Buddhism emphasizes is the improper pursuit of happiness, believing that what is not a source of happiness is a source of happiness, thinking that pleasure will bring happiness, thinking that power will bring happiness, thinking that anger will bring happiness, thinking that criticizing others and blame will bring happiness. All kinds of ways in which we kind of, thinking that I'll only be happy if, and have some idea far in the future that we want to put everything in place, and only then, if only that can happen. And so the part of the function of Buddhism is to overcome delusion, overcome confusion and ignorance. And the last bondage that we'll talk about on Friday is ignorance. So I want to save some of the obvious kind of opposites of confusion and delusion but what I want to say now is that in relationship to delusion and confusion, there's two things that can be kind of the corollary, the healthy, wholesome corollary. One of them is a capacity and willingness to not know, a willingness to, when we don't understand, to not be confused and not to spin out delusive ideas and theories, conspiracy theories about how things are, but to be willing to not know, to be comfortable with not knowing, and to be able to say, I don't know. And and so rather than not knowing and then becoming confused or adding confusion and delusion on top of it by coming up with theories and stretching and projecting ideas and solutions onto the situation, there's something very powerful about not understanding what's happening and being resting and grounded in not knowing. And there's wholesome not knowing. There's, in some schools of Buddhism, emphasizes with tremendous emphasis on cultivating a not knowing mind. Sometimes it can be called a beginner's mind. And the value of this not knowing is not that we become stupid and uninformed by things, but rather that we see things fresh. We're willing to learn and see anew what's there. So there's new possibilities. We're better informed by what's happening. And we're not caught up in suffering around not knowing. It's not a crime to not know. I've met people who was in a situation that was difficult. They didn't know what was happening. They didn't know what to do. But they said so, and there was something about them being comfortable with not knowing and not understanding that made it such a huge difference to me. Like it inspired me. Wow, you can do that? You don't have to have answers. You don't have to have solutions. And just sit there and not know. And take a stand in not necessarily in not knowing, but taking a stand and not needing to pretend it's otherwise, not needing to rush ahead and try to make things up or figure things out. I think that it's a phenomenally powerful thing to be willing to not know. It's a protection from delusion, from confusion. I think there's a lot of pressure in our society to know, to have explanations, to assign blame, to to kind of live in a fantasy world of what brings happiness and what is the dangers we live in. There's people, lots of people who are spinning out tales of where the danger is and who are the dangerous people. It's delusive. And so there's this pressure to go along with that current of delusions, social delusion, and to step back and not know, and be willing, be comfortable with that. It's harder to get swept up in mass delusion or the collective delusion of the people around us, or the pressure to do anything, to do something besides be able to not know. But to not know can open doors. To not know can give us new perspective. To not know can be freeing of something very profound within us. So as a healthy alternative to delusion, there's a possibility of not knowing. The other healthy corollary, wholesome corollary to delusion, is a commitment to building our life from our lived experience in the moment. That this is where where we discover how to live a wise life, is a dedication to the present moment. Because what we can start seeing here and now is how we suffer, how we create our suffering, how we get caught, how we strain, how we get contracted, how we get resistant, how we get caught in desires or caught in fear, any kind of caughtness, any kind of bondage. And a commitment to here, and then finding a way to be here without believing that the way forward is through suffering, or the way forward is to do something that involves, that brings suffering to us at the same time. So, for example, to be in a challenging social situation, and then to use hostility to clear the room, to make everything kind of be safe, let people chase people away. Maybe it's effective for the situation, but the hostility harms ourselves. To think that what I need to do is to become wealthy, and the pursuit of wealth, the very pursuit of it is engagement in a greed that is a tremendous amount of suffering for our own hearts. Somehow, the opposite corollary to confusion and delusion is to be committed to tracking and seeing very carefully, discovering how to live a life now, here, that's not built on things that are causing in the moment suffering to ourselves. And to see that as a sense of purpose, that gives clarity. This is important. It's not the final answer to everything, but it's the foundation. That's the beginning of our life, is the place where we can sit and be present and know, now I'm contributing suffering to my life, now I'm not. And to be committed to that in a strong and a powerful way. When I was thinking this morning about how when I was 14, I met a 14-year-old woman that I was attracted to. And all I knew was her first name and the street that she lived on. And so with a friend of mine, we went through the telephone book of the town, I from the front and he from the back, and we called everyone who lived on that street and asked for the, using her name, her first name, asking for her, until somewhere, I think it was halfway through in the middle of the book, so we were two of us were coming to the middle. We finally found her street and her through that way. And I say that because of the drive, the seriousness, the dedication to really be focused at that quest to find that woman. If you just use 1/10 of that kind of dedication, to a dedication to track yourself, so that you don't get swept up in confusion, delusion, needing to know, the suffering of needing to know, the suffering of straining to have solutions, but dedication to staying in that place where we don't succumb to movements of mind and heart that cause us suffering here and now. With that dedication, with that movement, and letting that be where the life is built from. And everything can be built from that, and a wonderful life can be built from that. But it's not a life that's built on delusion or fantasy or expectations and abstract ideas. It's a life that's built that doesn't know about, is willing not to know about so many things, but it does know about tracking and staying close to that place where we don't contribute to our suffering. So may you not be caught in delusion and confusion. May you discover the wonderfulness of a not knowing mind. So as you go through the day today, you might see if some of your ideas, explanations, projections might somehow have some tinge of delusion, confusion, some tinge of maybe it's not quite accurate what I'm assuming here. And see if instead of assuming things, you can practice not knowing. The kind of not knowing that doesn't ignore what's happening, but the not knowing that allows you to gaze upon it, look upon it with fresh eyes, and see what's actually going on, including what's going on in you. And so that you can, but in not knowing what's out there, you're more, and not being confused by it or caught up in it, you're more likely to see what are you doing to contribute to your suffering. And that exploration will probably save you from a lot of delusion. So, thank you.